In October 2025, a woman went live on stream to millions of people and accused her ex-boyfriend of sexual assault, stalking, psychological and domestic abuse, and blackmail. By the time the stream ended, the internet had already decided he was guilty. The story was set. People who had followed both of them for years had made up their minds before anyone reviewed a single piece of evidence, before any court had seen anything, before his legal team had cleared him to respond publicly. The accusation spread everywhere, and for 9 months, Mizkif said almost nothing. Not because he had nothing to say, because his lawyers told him not to. Mizkif, one of the most recognizable names on Twitter, spent years helping his friends through their own controversies. When Alinity was in trouble, he was there. When Valkyrie needed support, he showed up. He was the person in his circle who showed up for people when things got difficult. And in October 2025, when Emiru went live and said what she said, almost all of those same people left him completely alone. He and Emiru had been together for 3.
The accusations came out fast, and they landed hard. Sexual assault, stalking, psychological and domestic abuse, threats of blackmail, said on a live stream to millions of people. The clip spread to every platform within hours. OTK, the organization they were both connected to, publicly supported Emiru and confirmed they had cut ties with Mizkif. They said his termination had happened some time ago and was unrelated to the recent allegation, which immediately raised its own questions. Mizkif lost friendships. He lost the ability to attend industry events. Creators who had worked with him stopped working with him. His original response to the accusations, which he said denied everything, was clipped in a way that made it look like an admission, and the story stayed exactly where Emiru had placed it. Then, in June 2026, a federal magistrate judge reviewed Emiru's request to have the entire lawsuit thrown out and recommended the opposite.
Mizkif had sued Emiru and Asmongold. The claims included defamation and breach of contract. Emiru's legal team asked the court to throw the whole thing out, and the magistrate judge, after reviewing the case, found that the gist of Emiru's statement, including the sexual assault allegation, was reasonably capable of a defamatory meaning. The defamation claim against Emiru moves forward. Mizkif had plausibly pleaded his case. Mizkif was clear in the video about what this means and what it does not mean. He said it directly. This is the court letting my case move forward. The court is not saying Emiru's allegations were false. It is saying the claim has been pleaded well enough to be heard. And that is a significant distinction that a lot of people in the comment sections missed entirely. The court also ordered Mizkif to submit a more definite statement within 30 days, identifying each specific statement from Emiru's stream that he alleges is defamatory. Exact quotes, how each one is untrue, how each one harmed him, which means part 2 is coming. The defamation claim against Asmongold was recommended for dismissal without prejudice. Asmongold's defense was that he was repeating Emiru's own words rather than making original accusations. The court accepted that argument at this stage, which means Asmongold walks for now, and the case against OTK, Mythic, and King Gaming Labs is being pushed to arbitration. In the video, Mizkif argued that her account changed over time, that there were contradictions between what she said on stream, what was in the court filings, and what was said in private messages after the alleged incident. He argued that clips of his original response were taken out of context to make it look like he was admitting to things he was actually denying. He said the allegations cost him friendships, cost him events, cost him the ability to work with other creators. He called it part 1, meaning there is more documentation coming, and the audience watching it had a very specific reaction, not to the legal details computer. After the lawsuit was filed, Emiru disposed of her computer, the computer that would have contained more than what she had already chosen to provide as evidence. She gave selected screenshots, she gave selected messages, and the computer that held everything else was gone. The legal term for destroying evidence after receiving a lawsuit is something courts take seriously. The internet's version of that legal term was a lot shorter. The comment that kept appearing everywhere was the same. Wiping your computer after receiving a lawsuit is guilty behavior. And then the Asmongold screenshot. On July 9th, 2026, Mizkif posted on Twitter. He said Emiru had sent him a screenshot years ago, and attached to that tweet was the Discord conversation from May 18, 2024 at 1:55 in the morning. Asmongold spelling out a racial slur using numbers and symbols, calling himself creative with stuff like that. Emiru responding. Emiru typing screenshot at JK and then sending it to Mizkif, the same Mizkif she later accused on a live stream in front of millions, the same Mizkif she was building a legal case against, the same Mizkif who is now using that very screenshot as evidence of her pattern of behavior. She was collecting private conversations from people in her circle and sharing them with Mizkif while she was in a relationship with him. Asmongold, one of her most consistent public defenders, had no idea idea she was sending his private 1:55 a.m. Discord messages to her boyfriend. The man who built an entire persona around women being fake and manipulative was being documented and filed away while he tried to impress her with his creative approach to racial slurs. And the woman doing the documenting and filing was simultaneously, years later, going to accuse the person she was sending the screenshots to of being an abuser. The snake ate its own tail.
The community reaction split in a specific way. A significant portion of people said exactly what you would expect them to say, that destroying evidence after a lawsuit is not the behavior of someone with nothing to hide. That Asmongold and Tectone, who had both built platforms around being against cancel culture and false accusations, were notably quiet now that someone in their circle was the one making them. Then there was the observation that hurt the most. Mizkif spent years showing up for his friends when they were in trouble. He was there for people who did not show up for him. When he needed the same energy back, almost everyone left. The people he defended did not defend him. The organization he was connected to supported his accuser. And for 9 months, the internet treated the accusation as the verdict. Federal magistrate judge looked at the same situation and said the case should move forward, not as a verdict, not as a finding that Emiru lied, but as a recognition that what she said on that live stream is capable of being defamatory, and that Mizkif has plausibly argued his case well enough to be heard. He has 30 days to identify every specific statement, every exact quote, every lie as he sees it, and how each one damaged him. The most honest thing said through any of this came from Mizkif himself at the start of the video. He said she was the first person he saw every morning and the last person he saw every night for 3 years. And then 10 months after they broke up, she went on stream to millions of people and accused him of sexual assault. He said he denies those accusations completely. He said this is him laying out her exact words next to the evidence, so you can weigh it for yourself. That is not the voice of someone performing outrage. That is the voice of someone who has been sitting on court filings for 9 months and is finally allowed to talk. The case is moving forward. The computer is gone. The screenshots she sent to Mizkif are now in public, and the story that the internet decided was settled in October 2025 is nowhere close to settled.